Tonight on CTV News, learn what steps Colorado will take to slow the spread of COVID over Thanksgiving.
Then, find out what spring semester will look like at CSU and the latest updates on the Hughes Stadium lot. All that and more on CTV News, starting now.
Good evening, Rams. I'm Sophia Ridley.
And I'm Kenneth Frederick. Thank you for joining us tonight for our last Thursday night news show of the semester.
With Thanksgiving break starting this weekend, Colorado's taking steps to slow the increase of COVID cases.
15 counties across Colorado will be operating at the highest risk level before stay-at-home orders are applied. Some of these counties include Arapahoe, Boulder, and Denver. In Boulder County alone, more than 200 cases were added on Tuesday, bringing their total to 8,910 cases. CU Boulder moved all classes to online on Monday and have had 1,479 positive on-campus cases. With the rise in cases across the state, some Colorado State University students have mixed feelings about these new restrictions.
Honestly, I hate the restrictions. It's too much for me. Humans are social creatures, and being locked down for this much time is just too much for me.
I feel like it's necessary if everyone's not going to follow the rules and go along with it. I think it needs to happen.
With Larimer County staying at Level 2 restrictions, CSU has been able to remain open for on-campus classes. With more than 43,000 saliva screenings and nasal swabs, only 582 CSU students and staff have tested positive for COVID.
I have appreciated just staying in person as much as we can and not having to go online. I have some friends at Boulder and most of their classes are all online, and I have no idea what I would do. So I'm just very grateful that even though I have 2 classes in person, I'm still grateful.
CSU's campus was able to remain open the majority of the semester, and as planned, classes will transition to all online after fall break until the end of the semester.
Let's hope these new restrictions slow the spread of the virus and keep Colorado residents safe.
With containment of the Cameron Peak fire over 90% as of Monday, the city of Fort Collins has taken down its outdoor fire restrictions. Campfires, fire pits, and charcoal grills are back on the table for city residents who have been hoping for their outdoor fire activities once again. The lifting of the fire ban is only for those inside the city limits and not outside, meaning that fires at places like Horsetooth Reservoir are still off limits. Anyone who believes that their neighbor's fire smoke is a nuisance can also report the fires to the city if they aren't 15 feet away from property lines or extinguished by 10 at night.
Governor Polis is now tasked with appointing one nominee for the position of District Court Judge. The 8th Judicial Nominating Commission has 3 candidates to replace Chief Judge Stephen Howard, who will retire January 12, 2021. The nominees are Matthew Zahe from Fort Collins, Sarah Cure, and Joseph Finley from Loveland. He has 15 days to make his final decision on who will fill this seat.
Anyone who's ever tried to find a place to live near downtown knows that the word expensive might be an understatement. According to Zillow, prices around Old Town can go anywhere from $400,000 to over $1 million plus. That may change with new housing development project Oak 140, an affordable housing project starting in downtown Fort Collins. The construction is planned for the corner of Oak Street and Remington. A little under 80 units are expected to be built by the spring of 2022. There are specific income level qualifications to live in the apartments, with units for specific levels of income required. The units are meant for people who make anywhere from 30 to 80% of the average market income of about $65,000.
Thanksgiving is next week, and Larimer County officials are urging people to not gather in person for this holiday week. With almost 1,000 new cases in Larimer County this last week, county officials are making a case to cancel Thanksgiving plans that include people outside of your household. Due to increased traveling during this holiday week, Colorado State University has planned since the beginning of the semester to transition all classes on campus to completely online for the remainder of the semester, starting this next week. CU Boulder has even canceled spring break for next semester to prevent additional traveling. I know my family is going to have Thanksgiving outside, and it's a small group just so that we keep it a close circle.
Yeah, I'm actually only having mine with my immediate family. I think it'll just be my dad and my brother this year.
Yep, keep it small.
Well, stick around after the break to hear Yanae Moran tell us what to expect for the weather this upcoming week.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Welcome back from the break. Bienvenidos de vuelta. And thanks for tuning in to our last Thursday night show of the semester. However, that does not stop the weather from changing. So without further ado, let's take a look at our current conditions. Right now, we are currently at 48 degrees with a low tonight at 33. We do have a bit of clouds tonight and low winds coming in from the southeast. But let's take a look at what it was like on campus today. As you can see here at Colorado State, we did have very blue skies. We did have a little bit of clouds as well. And there are still some very dry areas, but that is normal because it is November and we are starting to see fall. We do have a lot of green areas as well, but that is slowly starting to fade away. Now let's take a look at our overnight lows. For our overnight lows along our I-25 corridor here, our highest is in Denver at 35, and then moving along on our mountainside here, Grand Junction at 35 as well. However, that does drop in Gunnison to 19. And for our eastern side tonight, Lamar, our highest at 34, along with Burlington. So it'll be a bit chilly tonight. Make sure you grab your blankets and stay warm. For tomorrow's highs, along our front range here, we will be a high of 50 in Denver and 52 in Pueblo. And then moving along on our mountainside, we have our highest in Grand Junction at 56 and Alamosa at 58. Now, for our eastern side, we will be at 51 in Sterling, and then 57 in Lamar. Now, for tomorrow's forecast in Fort Collins, we will have a high of 45 with a low of 28. We do have a bit of clouds tomorrow, so if you want to enjoy the days outdoors, it's okay to go play golf and just have some fun. Or if you want to do some outdoor workouts on your porch, that'll be really nice weather too. Now for our 5-day forecast, it looks like mostly cloudy throughout the week. Friday, once again, a high of 45, and then Saturday, almost 50, and then Sunday going back down to 47. It will be mostly sunny on Sunday, because it is the Sunday. And then Monday, our highest for the week at 55, and then Tuesday, mostly sunny as well with a high of 48. But if you are in the mountainside, we will have snow coming in, but that does not reach Fort Collins, so we don't have to worry about it. Well, Rams, that is all I have for the weather tonight. It was a pleasure being here and delivering the weather for you. But don't go away just yet. Stick around to hear more from news.
Touchdown! Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. Kevin, I need that back. No. Kevin!
Welcome back from the break, Rams. We have more news stories for you, so let's dive right in.
Many Rams will be leaving campus for the remainder of the semester after the last day of in-person classes on Friday. With fall break coming up, many Rams will be relaxing and preparing for what's going to come next. But that raises the question, what will the new year look like?
From a scheduling point of view, not much will change with the 2021 spring semester. CSU will still start classes on January 19th, and finals will be May 10th through the 14th. However, spring break has been pushed back to April 12th and looks a little more like our fall break. After time off in the spring, the last 3 weeks before finals will be all online, much like the current semester. This is a change that many students don't seem very fazed by.
I really don't mind it all that much. It doesn't make that much of a difference to me. I guess it is kind of nice to have that break a little bit earlier in the semester, kind of get a midway break instead of after like the third exam, but I'm fine with it.
Students in the ASCSU also had a chance to share their opinions last night on the coming semester. Mary Peterson, CSU's executive vice president, along with the chairs of the pandemic preparedness team, met to discuss with members of the ASCSU in order to answer questions about what the team had been doing this year and were planning for next semester. Peterson said that with saliva testing, CSU had reached record numbers of tests. But in 2021, they hope to double that number to nearly 3,000 tests a day. She also talked about how around 2/3 of classes will be in-person or hybrid, and even a larger percent of Gen Ed courses would be available for people to take at home through an expansion of classrooms with Echo 360.
And they are going to be outfitting a few more of the general purpose classrooms, and by spring semester, we will have 80 to 85% of all of the general purpose classrooms will be outfitted with the Echo 360.
Colorado State University is working closely with the pandemic preparedness team to keep students safe while continuing to provide a quality education during these uncertain times.
CTV will keep you updated on all the news surrounding the upcoming semester. However, if you're interested in knowing more about CSU's plan, visit catalog.colostate.edu.
Last Christmas season, Denver debuted the Mile High Tree. And although many things have changed since then, this is looking like a new family tradition for families here in Colorado, as it makes its second showing this year. But don't let the name fool you, this tree isn't a regular tree. It's the largest installation of its kind in North America. It's a 110-foot tall digitized Christmas tree created by Ilmix Illumination, a globally renowned lighting production company from Spain that uses pixel mapping technology. The tree can fit 140 people under it for an immersive experience with festive songs and lights. It will be open to the public with free admission starting November 20th and is located at 16th Street, downtown Denver. COVID restrictions are in place, so for more information about how to stay safe, parking, and music shows, visit denver.org/milehighholidays/tree. I think it's really cool that we have like a big digitized tree. It's kind of eco-friendly. We're not cutting down any real trees.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing it in December, but until then, we've got time for Thanksgiving, and Christmas comes in December.
You're right.
Kids around the world haven't had to guess about Santa's location on Christmas and Christmas Eve ever since NORAD started tracking him in 1955. With COVID, there's been fears that the Air Force wouldn't be able to continue this tradition of updating children on Santa's whereabouts. But even if the call center's been drastically cut down this year, there'll still be some volunteers on the phones starting December 24th. If you can't get a hold of one of the volunteers, a pre-recorded message has been made to update callers in their place. Starting on Christmas Eve, if you would like to stay up to date on Santa's location, you can find it on noradsanta.org.
I usually watch where Santa is on the news. I've been doing that since I was a kid. I always beg my parents every year to let me watch, so I'm excited to do it again this year.
You know, I was actually reading last night that you can actually ask your Alexa where Santa is on Christmas Eve. I'm looking forward to trying that one out.
Look at that. What has been a traditionally southwestern restaurant chain has now come up north here to Colorado. In-N-Out will be opening 2 restaurants in both Aurora and Colorado Springs tomorrow. Both restaurants have drive-thru and dine-in, although indoor dining areas are currently unavailable due to COVID restrictions. But don't worry, Fort Collins. This California-based burger joint is looking at 3 other locations to open up restaurants, including Lone Tree, Lakewood, and Fort Collins. In-N-Out is open daily from 10 in the morning until 1, and on weekends it closes at 1:30 in the morning.
At the end of last month, we updated you on CSU deciding to split away from the city to privately develop the land on the Hughes Stadium property. The group called the Planning Action to Transform Hughes Sustainably, or PATHS for short, has gathered enough signatures to put forward a ballot measure in April of next year. The measure would be for the city to try and buy the Hughes area and keep it all open space. According to the Coloradoan, CSU is still planning on going forward with its development with Lennar Homes no matter what happens in April. The city made an offer of $7.2 million last year for the area, but were beat out by Lennar with a $10 million deal. City manager Darren Attenbury stood by his offer of $7.2 million, saying that it was a fair price for the land as it is now.
Thank you all so much for watching the last Thursday news segment for this semester.
But don't go anywhere, because after the break we have Litos Castro giving you the latest with the sports update.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
How's it going, Ram fans? Welcome back to your Thursday night sports show, The Blitz. I'm Litos Castro, filling in for Brendan Fairbairn. Tonight, we're going to take a look at the scheduling options for Rams football after the recent cancellation of their matchup against UNLV, as well as some of the highlights from last night's NBA draft. So, let's get started. Now, another cancellation. Wednesday, the Rams football team had yet another one of their contests called off, with the Mountain West announcing that the UNLV at CSU matchup slated for this Saturday will not be played due to pandemic-related concerns. But unlike with their first lost game of the season against New Mexico, Rams head coach Steve Addazio is open to making up the gap in their schedule against an outside opponent. According to Yahoo Sports reporter Pete Thamel, the first-year lead man is open to playing any program available as long as the Mountain West approves, saying, quote, "We want to play football. I just want to try and keep developing our football team as long as the conferences agree," end quote. With Coach Addazio's willingness to play in mind, as well as the already 14 college football games across the nation canceled for this weekend, Fort Collins natives have to be thinking there has to be a team out there to play the Rams, right? Well, luckily for CSU fans, there seems to be some possible options available, both inside and outside the Mountain West. First off, the Rams weren't the only squad inside the conference to see their plans to play on Saturday fall to the wayside. Heated border war rivals, the Wyoming Cowboys, also saw their scheduled matchup for this week canceled on Wednesday against the Utah State Aggies. With both programs now on an unexpected open week and current Mountain West guidelines that currently favor keeping play within the conference, this quick bronze boot rematch might be the most likely avenue for Ram football this weekend. And then we have the out-of-conference option. That's getting the most buzz around Colorado. A makeup of this year's Rocky Mountain Showdown. A match against the Buffaloes that was originally scheduled back in September before it also got canceled. Being around 50 miles apart, the rekindling of this iconic clash between these two in-state institutions is a natural fit for a makeup game, at least geographically. But at the end of the day, it's all up to the respective conferences to agree upon before Saturday. And according to the Bay Area News Group, the Pac-12 is currently amidst discussions to lift their conference-only scheduling guidelines, providing an extra glimmer of hope for both CU and CSU faithful to see these two squads duke it out after all this year. And in the end, tomorrow's news will determine whether the Ram football squad will be stuck at home for the second time this season or if they'll end up on the gridiron. Now, sprinting past the college ranks and into the pros, the 2020 NBA draft that was initially set for months before the professional basketball was thrown into a bubble, quite literally, finally took place last night, ushering in another wave of young hoops talent. And while this usual selection process had Commissioner Adam Silver remotely announcing picks from ESPN's facilities down in Bristol, Connecticut, this evening wasn't without excitement for basketball fans. Starting things off with the first overall pick, Anthony Edwards out of the University of Georgia was the pick at number 1 to the Minnesota Timberwolves. The 6'5" athletic guard is an explosive presence who physically dominates inside with his massive 6'10" wingspan and his elite step-back game from mid-range. Ultimately, Edwards' ability to change direction on a dime allows him to create a shot from nearly anywhere on the court and should fit in well with franchise staple Karl Anthony Towns as well as D'Angelo Russell. Now, the Wolves might have just assembled a big three in Minneapolis. The draft's best player talent-wise might have actually been taken at pick 3. LaMelo Ball, the brother of current New Orleans Pelican Lonzo Ball, fell right into the lap of Charlotte Hornets owner and basketball icon Michael Jordan. And with elite size and for a point guard at 6'6", unmatched vision, and overall passing ability, it's clear to see why one of the game's greats decided to scoop up Ball early on in the first round. With this being said, there are definitely some negatives in the 19-year-old's game, from his shooting struggles, lack of effort on the defensive side, and maybe just the fact that he hasn't played in an official basketball game in a little under a year might be a problem. But still, though, experts praise Ball's raw talent, and time will tell whether he'll create a spark in Charlotte that hasn't been seen since the departure of Kemba Walker. And for the final guy I want to cover tonight, let's talk about the last pick of the draft at number 60 in the second round. Sam Merrill, who was picked up by the Pelicans before quickly being traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. After his 4 years at Utah State, Merrill is for sure someone CSU fans remember after his dagger three-pointers against the Rams in Moby Arena, both last year and in 2018. He might not be the most athletically gifted guy, but with his excellent shooting and basketball IQ, the former Utah State Aggie shooting guard has a chance to push for a roster spot on the Milwaukee Bucks team that is desperate for some extra talent on the bench. Even as a late-round pick, Merrill might still be able to find a place as a three-point specialist. Well, Rams, that's all the action I have for the final Thursday night sports show of the semester, but don't go anywhere because Angel Cooper is up next to talk about all the spice from the last few days of entertainment.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it. First impression. My way in. But here's the thing. Can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Can one piece of paper really tell you my whole story? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or how anytime there was an opportunity, I was the first one to step up. Because I wasn't gonna let my life, my circumstances dictate who I was gonna become. And all of that determination, the commitment, the drive, that's me. And that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume, discover new ways to develop great talent, like me.
Welcome back from the break. This is Entertainment, and I'm Angel Cooper. Let's get started. Oh my gosh! Target plans to open a 3rd store in Fort Collins downtown. The Target will be in the building where 24-Hour Fitness used to be in March, but the 24-Hour Fitness got closed down due to COVID-19. The space will be fully renovated so it could be a smaller Target. The building owner, Eric Holzapfel, said that the Target will most likely open in October 2021. This is very exciting because Target will now be closer to campus. If you want to skip over to Thanksgiving and get straight to Christmas season, downtown Fort Collins can help you out with that. The downtown Fort Collins Santa Quest tradition will be back this year. Starting tomorrow, families can explore downtown on a quest to find the names of the Santa Claus figurines hidden in stores in front of windows of participating business. That sounds like a good time to do a scavenger hunt with family or friends, and the game did get canceled this Saturday, so this could be something you could do over the weekend. If that doesn't get you in the mood for the holidays, well, there's something else that does not require you to leave your home. All you just need is Apple TV. For the first time in 20 years, this is going to be the first year where Charlie Brown Thanksgiving and A Charlie Brown Christmas won't be broadcast on TV. Both films have been sold to Apple, which means that these holiday classics will only be available on Apple TV+. I look forward to seeing Charlie Brown, Lucy, Snoopy, and the rest of the Peanut Gang on for the holidays. During times like this, things are a little rough, but people are experiencing homelessness and they have their pets to help them get by. My apologies. We'll be getting back the video right as possible. Oh, well, I hope that you enjoyed that video of those cute puppies, because I sure did, and looking at dogs helped me get by through this tough time. All right, let's move on to my favorite part of the night. I'm going to miss doing this every Thursday, but anyways, if you're new, welcome to What's the Hype? Let's see what's going on social media. Social media went crazy 2 days ago when People's Magazine announced that Michael B. Jordan was named the sexiest man alive of 2020. Jordan says, "It's a cool feeling, you know. Everybody always made that joke. I like Mike. This is one thing that you're probably not going to get, but it's a good thing to be part of the club." That person was totally wrong, because I mean, Michael B. Jordan is he is such a man. And I mean, I did say a few weeks ago that Maluma was my celebrity crush, but Michael B. Jordan has to take that spot. Moving on to music world, things got even crazier. Variety magazine reported that Scooter Braun has sold the rights to Taylor Swift's first 6 albums. But guess how much the deal was worth? Over $300 million. That's just wild. And there's nothing like a mad woman. Taylor Swift did speak out on social media and said, "I have recently begun re-recording my older music, and it's already proven to be both exciting and creatively fulfilling. It's so unfortunate that she had to pay $300 million, but she's re-recording her old music." Yes! Now on to my favorite news of the night. Christmas came a little early for me. Wonder Woman 1984 will be released in theaters and on HBO Max on Christmas Day. Gal Gadot, who also plays Wonder Woman, says, "It's time. We all waited a long time for this one to come. I can't tell you how excited I am for all of you to see this movie." Girl, we're all excited to finally hear that this movie is going to be released this month. Well, Rams, that's all the entertainment news that I have for you tonight. This will be my last day during entertainment, but all I would like to say is have a good break and good night.